Okay. So let's go to the right. Oh yeah, because there's nothing over here. Just the one merchant in the one town.
There are dead orcs lying in the defensive trenches and strewn over the meadows in front of the city. Some of the locals are busy throwing the bodies on pyres, while others repair the minor damage done to the city wall. You enter the city and the garrison at its centre without being spoken to. It is only when you reach a heavy oak door that leads, you assume, to the commanding officer's headquarters, that you are halted by a guard.
Dwarves, eh? Seems we aren't to be spared anything these days. What do you want?
It looks like you've got an orc problem.
Had. Our scouts detected the army early on, and we were able to repel them without any great losses. A small army of orcs like that couldn't breach our mighty walls.
Your mighty walls look like they're about to collapse under their own weight!
The soldier isn't intimidated by Boindil. He juts his chin out confidently.
At least they stopped the orcs, unlike your dwarven walls in the north. Huh.
I didn't know that Steepleton was so big. Impressive place.
We have fertile meadows. That's what we have to thank for the city's growth in recent years. At the time of my grandparents, Steepleton was nothing more than the tower on a hill with a couple of houses. Now we have a market, a temple, and of course, there are royal messengers stationed in the tower, which doesn't do the city's coffers any harm at all.
Oh, yeah, a pigeon.
You said you had messengers here. I'd like to send a carrier pigeon to Lot Yonan in Yonendar.
Lot Yonan in Yonendar. No problem. It will cost you 90 gold pieces.
If the carrier pigeon delivers my message safely to Lot Yonan, then it's worth its weight in gold.
Then I'll send for a scribe. You can dictate your message and
Thank you, but I can write it myself. Paper and ink will be sufficient.
The guard nods. You don't blame him for thinking you are illiterate. Very few ordinary folk can read or write. Once you've been given the writing implements, you write down a summary of what happened at the meeting of the älfs and the orcs.
I must speak with your commander.
Commander Valor doesn't have time. He's still very busy dealing with the aftermath of the orc attack.
Oh, yeah.
Commander Valor is dealing with the orc problem, and I have important information concerning it. I witnessed a meeting of the orc lords.
The guard eyes you with interest and tries to judge whether you can be trusted. Finally, he stands up, opens a door, and enters the room ahead of you. The commander looks up from his work. The guard repeats what you told him.
Your information about the orcs could be useful. We have fought them back, but not yet defeated them. Come in.
The commander listens attentively, and now and then asks questions, as you tell him about the 3 orc armies and the meeting of the chieftains with the älfs in Thoras.
This sounds very grave. I will send out messengers. We must be prepared.
The orc army that attacked you was able to escape?
What was left of it? They headed south. Unfortunately, I can't send anyone after them until the damage to the wall is repaired.
To the south? Towards Scalebrook, perhaps. We defeated an army of orcs down there. It wasn't an easy fight, but they'd already taken a bit of a beating. By Steepleton's soldiers, I assume.
The commander looks at you and seems torn for a moment. Then he pulls himself together.
Perhaps you didn't know, but the administration had a bounty on the heads of that horde of orcs. Here, this gold is well deserved.
Oh, so he was going to withhold the gold, but thought otherwise.
Farewell, Commander Valor.
Kill as many orcs as you can, dwarves. Palandir will be with you.
Nice.
So is he saying that that you had taken care of the orc horde down south, or that there was an orc horde going down south?
We took care of the orc horde that had attacked.
Okay, is there a way to get to that town to the right?
This one?
Or do you have to go around? Oh no, there's a dotted line there.
Here? Yeah, you're right.
While taking a rest, you see a cart trundling along the road not far away from you. A young couple are sitting on the box seat, clearly in love and more interested in each other than the rest of the world around them. The sight reminds you of a long, unanswered question.
So, I was wondering, what do female dwarves look like?
Pretty. Very pretty.
Uh-huh.
You were expecting a little more information.
Do they have beards?
No, I would say it's more like fluff. Oh, very attractive.
And what do they do? I mean, are they warriors too?
In our kingdom, most take care of domestic life. They take the animals down to the meadows in the valleys, make sure the larders are full and that there's plenty of good beer, and make our clothes. It only ever causes problems when men and women stand shoulder to shoulder in battle. Some of them are talented stonemasons and smiths, and beware of insulting their skills. They are no less proud than we are.
Oh, there's our answer.
You arrive
Fluff.
at a crossroads with a tavern on the corner. A warm light is emanating from its window, lighting up the road around it. A stone sculpture of a sheep stands in front of the door, and above it a sign, swaying gently in the breeze, reads, "The Stone Sheep."
I wonder if all old taverns in the day were like the prancing pony and the stone sheep.
Probably. Maybe, I don't know.
You observe the surroundings, but the road is empty, and no one leaves the tavern. You notice a broken window on the first floor, which has been boarded up with planks. Something wet drips onto your nose, and you look up to the cloudy sky with a bad-tempered expression.
Huh. Why are we standing here and just getting wet from the outside?
You enter the tavern with a determined stride, and are greeted by a thick wall of pipe smoke. The dozen or so drinkers at the tables turn towards you, then give each other astonished and slightly worried looks. In the tavern, there are half a dozen people sitting at the tables, and just as many at the bar, clearly farmers and labourers from the surrounding villages. Boindale pays no attention to the other guests and trudges over to a table. Together with his brother, you follow him and sit down. The landlord comes out from behind the bar.
What can I get you?
You hear surly muttering from one of the tables.
What are groundlings doing showing their faces here, now of all times?
So you can ask them why it's strange. You can just
Let's
buy
start with
some
number
ale.
3.
Around for everyone on him?
Yeah, let's improve everybody's positioning.
Okay.
You stand up and turn to the room.
This round's on me.
The faces of the guests and the landlord brighten up immediately. The landlord gets to work pulling everyone a beer and handing out the tankards. Some of the guests say cheers to you as they get their drinks.
Well, that'll lighten the mood. Okay, now what about the famulus?
Okay. 2 travelers pass this way, yeah.
Did 2 travelers pass this way? One was a famulus, the other a mercenary.
The landlord shakes his head indifferently and mumbles something incoherently. One of the guests is about to say something, but shuts up when the person next to him gives him a poke.
Yeah, what happened?
Come on now, tell us what happened. We're all friends here.
The man who was going to speak the first time round looks over to his neighbour, who nods.
2 travellers spent the night here. One had a robe on, the other was a mercenary. The next day they left, all in a hurry. Said they'd been attacked by an elf.
One of the other drinkers finds his voice too.
There was a hell of a lot of noise that night. As if there'd been a dust-up.
They left some gold here for the trouble. I thought they meant the noise, but then I noticed the broken window.
The landlord sighs.
Please, don't tell anyone else about this. Who would want to spend a night in a tavern where an elf has been sighted?
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Because you already got that guy to talk about the mercenaries.
True. Well, he's got... Is there a way to... Nope. Can I buy more at a time? The answer is no.
For goodness sake, don't buy too much.
There's no stopping
How
me.
much gold do you have?
900.
Don't spend that much on it.
Nope.
You've already had to hand out gold for other things. What if you need that
We're not
extra
gonna need
gold?
it. We're so fed, we will never have to worry about food ever again.
Okay, so let's get room for the night.
We're tired and long for a proper bed.
Of course, gentlemen.
You spend a restful night in the tavern, and then head off on your way again.
Okay, so you want to keep heading north?
Alright, so I can go around for it almost, what, like 60-something turns? Yes. The main reason why I'm kind of shameless with buying rations...
So that you want to go to all these towns? I want to go to the towns.
I want to explore. It doesn't seem like there's a time limit on these things. I mean, there's these, like, cities over here that I kind of wish we had,
Well, we had gone to at least one of them for, like, those... Axedale?
No, we didn't go to Axeldale. We didn't go to...
We'll go back to them when we get down south again.
Yes.
Because...
Yeah, we didn't go to any of them.
They didn't have any orcs immediately threatening them.
Yep.
Oh.
You arrive at a small, bustling village. One thing is clearly missing from the lively scene. The sound of metal on metal from the village smithy that would normally be heard above everything else at this time of day. A dour, grim-looking man is sitting in front of the forge with his right arm in a sling. His expression brightens as he sees you, and he jumps to his feet.
Dear dwarves, could I interest you in helping me in my workshop for a day?
The man's expression is somewhere between desperation and hope. As you don't answer immediately, he continues.
You will, of course, be royally rewarded for your work. I can offer you 100 gold pieces.
Yeah, what happened to your arm?
What happened to your arm?
A stupid accident. A box of blanks fell down. I was trying to catch it. It will heal, fortunately, but I won't be able to wield my hammer for a while.
You must have quite a backlog of work.
You nod sympathetically. You always felt bad if you were ill or couldn't work in the forge for some reason or other.
Loads. But if what I hear about the metalworking skills of the dwarves is true, it will be easy for you to manage it in a day.
I'll help you. I worked in a forge for a while.
You modestly conceal that in this case, a while means almost a whole human lifetime. A little later, you are standing in the workshop, examining the smith's inferior tools, while he fires up the forge and prepares everything for the job as well as he can with just one good arm. You weren't able to persuade the twins to help you. As warriors, they'd rather go hunting, Boindil declared. But you think it's more probable that you'll find them drinking beer. But you don't care. You're excited about being able to smith again after such a long time. Hours later, you have forgotten everything around you. The heat of the forge, the sweat on your warm skin, the play of the flames. You're in your element, and work as if in a trance. The smith left the workshop ages ago, with a satisfied grin on his face.
Wait, I'm talking to you.
You look up in surprise. Everything but the beating of the hammer had ceased to exist.
Keeping everyone up
at
at night.
Notice that someone has come in.
Can you do it?
You immediately dislike the middle-aged man. He sounds you out so doggedly with his light grey eyes that it feels as though he wants to look right through you and into your deepest thoughts. The man points to two horses.
Those two, in 1 hour.
Oh, you want them to shoe?
Yeah, no problem, but I want to see what's the deal with the horses.
With the forge hammer in your hand, you play dumb. You blink and look back and forth between the horses and the man.
What's the deal with the horses?
You expect the man to fly off the handle, but you feel even more uneasy when he asks you quietly and very slowly to please re-shoe the two horses.
So, will taking this man's job prevent you from finishing the other one, or...?
It feels like he's a horse thief.
Maybe. He's also not offering compensation.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel you need to commit to the bargain that you had with the first guy.
So, 2? Okay.
I'm sorry. Too much to do. Try somewhere else.
You got a nerve, you little rat.
The man moves menacingly close, his hand on his sword, when the man with grey eyes holds him back.
Not here.
The angry mercenary glares briefly at his leader before stomping out of the forge.
I thank you for your help, Mr. Dwarf. Perhaps we'll meet again.
The men leave the workshop.
Concentrate on the rest of your work, or do you want to follow them in secret?
Let's follow them in secret.
Really?
The men join a larger group of horsemen, more than a dozen, outside the village. You stay hidden and listen.
Not here in the village. Go. Search the road between here and Clintal again.
The other mercenaries nod and the group rides off. You can't make head nor tail of what's going on here, but you don't like it. You tell the twins about your encounter, and they decide to be especially vigilant over the next days. You spend the night in the smith's house and move on the next morning.
Yeah, who are those mercenaries?
I don't know. I'm gonna save, though. Do we try for the merchant? Let's see what the merchant has.
In the early evening, you make an unusual discovery on the side of the road. A colourful trader's wagon has been carelessly abandoned, with not a soul in sight.
I don't like the look of this one bit, Boindil. You take a look around there, I'll stay on this side. Tungdil, you check the surrounding area, and be careful.
You scan the road and the woods on both sides. Apart from the twins who are fighting their way through the undergrowth within earshot, you can't hear or see anyone.
Oh, search for tracks on the ground.
I'm just gonna go down the list.
No. Search for tracks on the ground first.
You can see a lot of tracks in the mud around the wagon. Hoof prints and footprints from humans in heavy boots. At least half a dozen long ones must have approached the wagon from the woods on both sides.
Ooh, do you think the mercenaries had gotten it?
Mm-hmm.
The wagon itself isn't damaged, nor is the drawbar. But the belts and leashes that normally hold the draft animals have been cut clean through.
Oh, so did those guys steal the two horses from the wagon?
The dwindling daylight provides little light inside the wagon. It smells of leather, spices, and candles. And there's another smell in the air, which you can't quite place. It reminds you of your forge in Lot Yonan's vaults, but different. It is messy, but no more so than you would expect from a single dwarf. The bed is rumpled, and there are tools and leftover materials piled up on the little workbench. There are several cupboards hanging on the right-hand wall. At the end of the wagon, there's a large wardrobe, and next to the door on the left is a heavy wooden chest with rusty metal hinges. The smaller cupboards are piled high with a multitude of tins and boxes, all filled with odds and ends that the trader offered for sale to customers on his trips. Nothing of real interest. You reach for the knob of the wardrobe, and then stop. The rug in front of the wardrobe squelches as you step on it, as if you had stepped in a puddle. You try to work out how to soak the rug, when suddenly the door of the wardrobe springs open and something bounces into you. You take a step back, and the realization of what hit you makes you take two more. Lying on the floor in front of you is the body of a dwarf, headless. His head has been cut clean from his neck. The dwarf is wearing clothes that look more like human robes, and bears no coat of arms that would identify his kingdom. You didn't know him, but no one deserves to die like this. His head is being cut off cleanly, probably with a sharp blade. A quick glance in the wardrobe confirms what you already suspect. The dwarf's head is nowhere to be seen. As you try to lift the lid of the chest, you realize that the lock has been broken out of the wood. You open the lid and look inside. Amongst clothes and some empty boxes, you find a loot case and a beautiful loot of the kind that humans build, as well as a bag of bread and cured meat. You take the loot. You can't play, but an instrument like this is worth good gold. You take the bread and the cured meat. The extra provisions should keep you going for a few days.
Yeah.
You give a short, sharp whistle, and the twins come running at the double. You tell them what you found.
A group of horsemen with heavy boots has been here. I found Mort in the wagon. Beheaded. I have a hunch that the mercenaries from Fallow Rock have something to do with this.
Wretched dwarf killers!
You can tell that Boindil wants revenge and can understand his feelings well. You wrap the body in linen, dig a hole in the woods, and place the body in it. You lay a couple of his tools and other personal belongings you found in the wagon next to him. You wish there was more you could do for him. You continue on your journey in gloomy spirits.
So, are we gonna encounter them on the road next, or go back to Fallowbrook?
Dunno. We could go back to Fallowbrook. It's actually just as fast to go... not quite.
Well...
I doubt they're gonna come back. Well, let's try. Yep, nothing.
No, nothing.
So we'll run into them on the road.
You come across an orchard next to a farmstead and surrounded by several fields of wheat. You don't see anyone working in the fields, but there's a young man lying under an apple tree. He has his legs crossed and a straw hat is covering his face.
Yeah, ask him about the mercenaries.
Excuse me, but we're looking for a group of mercenaries. Have they passed by here?
The young man is startled. He must have nodded off. He looks around anxiously. When he sees you, the fear disappears from his face and is replaced by curiosity. It seems to you that the man is sizing you up.
And if I answer, what's in it for me?
So, gold, threatening to chop off his legs, or...
Let's just throw gold at it.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
You take 30 gold pieces from your pouch and hold one of them up so that it glints in the sun.
How about this?
A wide grin spreads across the young man's face.
Now we're talking the same language, dwarf. I saw them. A big group, a dozen or more. They rode northwest.
Northwest, you say?
You nod and throw him the gold coins. The young man pockets them and lies down again. Boindil and Boindal give each other meaningful glances.
What, they don't like you bribing?
No, meaningful means like...
Oh, like,
they're on the hunt. Yeah.
The first thing you notice as you enter the village of Clintal is how quiet it is. There is hardly a soul in the streets, and the few people you do see immediately disappear into their houses as you get closer. Boindil draws his axes, and Boendal his raven's beak.
Something's not quite right here. Be alert.
You walk on until you reach the village square. Without a word, men enter the square from the left and the right, cutting off your way. You recognize the leader of the group of mercenaries, looking you over with a satisfied expression. Standing next to him is a frail man with greying hair, who doesn't seem able to cope with the situation. He tries several times to say something, but can't find the right words.
Oh, yeah. Like did the trader?
Are you going to kill us, just like you killed the traveling trader?
The leader of the mercenaries shakes his head sadly and seems shaken.
You fiends want to lay the blame on us? You damn murderers!
Murderers? Come here, dwarf killer!
Are you denying your terrible deed? You were seen murdering poor old Mort, one of your kind in
What?
cold blood.
The old man points unnecessarily to the leader of the mercenaries.
Wait, are you denying your terrible deed? You were seen murdering... Is he pointing to... Is he talking about you? Or them? Because you were seen murdering poor old Mort, one of your own kind. But then he points unnecessarily to the leader of the mercenaries.
Yep, let's do it number 3.
Wait, what was here? We are dwarves, and dwarves would never do anything like this to another dwarf. We found Mort's body. We're looking for his killers, so... You saw us do it, didn't intervene, and then set a trap a few days later in the middle of nowhere, or...
I can always
we found Mort's bodies. We were looking for his killers.
Okay, fine. I just feel like that's kind of the neutral one.
Oh, so...
Like, I don't know, these dialogue options usually have the right answer hidden somewhere in it. All right,
So
let's go with...
wait, but the problem is with the third option, you're calling them cowards and then set us a trap a few days later
this
in the
is
middle of
like me
nowhere.
calling it out as illogical.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like, why... You know, why go about this if you could easily just overpower us
The second one is just
Okay, let's
the
do that
most
then.
truthful, but I don't know.
We found Mort's wagon on the side of the road a few days ago. He had been decapitated and his head was gone.
You wait a moment for your words to take full effect.
There were prints in the mud made by humans and horses.
We were there, but only after you murdered the trader.
If it hadn't been so inappropriate, you would smirk. The human has fallen into your trap.
So you were there after us, but still managed to watch us do it. Then you overtook us and only confront us now and here, several days' journey from the place where it happened. Your story doesn't seem to make much sense.
We know what we saw, and you won't talk your way out of it, dwarf.
The leader of the mercenaries draws his sword. Some of the villagers seem to doubt the mercenaries' words, but others stand by his side, and events take their course.
Alright.
What?
Think I get to fight something now.
Are we fighting or are we gonna wake up?
I hope I'm fighting, because I'm kind of tired of just dialogue. You know, I need to have a little bit of combat intermingled to these, otherwise it's just like, I'm just doing dialogue options.
Concentrate on the mercenaries, and try not to kill the villagers.
Well, they're screwed.
Okay, so we have to get the archers first and avoid the villagers.
Yeah, kill the mercenaries, avoid killing...
Bad luck for you.
Okay, let's have Bowendahl go forward heavily.
Goodbye forever.
Okay. Let's do another one of those. There we go. Let's see. Let's have him move in. Oh, we have this. What's this do? Oh, interesting.
Well, that's just 50% damage reduction for...
Yes, at once.
Yeah, that's not as useful. I mean, it can be, but still. Okay. These guys are almost done.
Vile creature.
Okay, do we not have enough? Not yet.
Please wait a moment.
Still not enough.
What now? Huh?
Okay, might get a bit of friendly fire. The answer is no. No friendly fire. Oh, I can't control him because he's in a blood rage.
He's in the rage, yeah. Oh, Tungil got hit by Bowendahl.
Yeah.
At once.
Bowendahl is the most dangerous.
Now, did you have to get across the bridge, or what was
No, they're kind of attacking me from every angle.
Yes.
Ish.
On my way.
My assumption is they're up ahead. I'm gonna have Bowendahl move forwards.
Those are
just
villagers.
Villagers, so I'm gonna move ahead. And Tungdal's gonna go after this guy. Stop.
End it.
Hit the right one.
He hardly put up a fight.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
On my way.
Nope, nope.
That's
Don't
a
go for the
villager.
villagers. Don't go for the villagers. Don't go for the villagers.
See, I thought the villagers were across the road, or across the bridge.
Oh, there's one.
On my way.
So the problem is...
I think it's funny that you're going ring around the rosy.
Yeah,
That's a mercenary.
Yep, this is a mercenary.
Oh, there's the archers are off to the left.
Okay, Bowendahl
As good as done.
is gonna go after the archers. Okay,
They're getting heavily surrounded, though, by villagers.
Tungdal.
Yeah.
Ah, crap.
What now?
Fucking Boindle.
Hey.
Boindle,
no.
move. Boindle, move. Boindle, you idiot. Move, you shit.
I just need.
You can't stick there. There's too many villagers.
So it's not the sticking there part. It's that my characters don't move when I tell them to.
Well, he also had to get around the corpse of
At once.
him.
On my way.
Yeah.
Understood.
Okay, so this time around...
Get him out of combat so that
Understood.
Well, yeah,
he can
if
heal.
he dies, we're in trouble. I mean, realistically, we're gonna have to reload on this one.
At once.
I think I'm just gonna have to kill the villagers. There's not much I can do about this. There's too much damage.
Yes.
Too much damage from too many people. I mean, there's a chance that you can salvage this if you for the villagers.
Yeah.
I mean, you had gotten almost half of the mercenaries, but with the villagers, there's like off to the left. Yeah, you're gonna have to reload.
Yeah, it's okay.
Can you reload?
Let's try this again. We're just gonna have to fight our way through. Try not to fight the villagers, they say. I mean, the thing is, I could try and...
They don't have a villager kill count, though.
Yeah, like, I'm sure it's one of those that the more villagers I kill, the less sympathetic they're going to be for me, maybe.
Are you sure you weren't supposed to push ahead as opposed to run backwards?
I
feel like you should have pushed ahead across the bridge.
I think they just spawn randomly. Notice how many villagers there are over here, though?
Are those villagers?
Yeah, those are villagers. You can tell by their pitchforks.
Okay.
I can't tell you about this person in the woods. However, we know where the archers are.
Do you want to go there first?
Yeah. So what we're gonna do...
The rain doesn't help.
Yeah, the rain makes it hard.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the mercenary group. I'm gonna just try and push past for a second. Okay.
They are taking damage, though.
Yes.
Huh? Yes? Alright.
So this should work. If we're lucky.
Well, Bone Dell's going up.
Yeah, that was the plan. Okay, here we go. So these guys hurt a bunch. Let's start with that. And start with this. Start with this. Oh, can't do. Okay, so this time around they're surrounded. The reason why I did this is specifically so I can come up here. So I found where most of the mercenaries are.
Good.
Which is specifically around here. Okay, hold on. There we go.
Say goodbye forever.
Let's do that. He's doing his thing. No, that's a random villager. Okay. Should be good. Let's do a talisman of healing. So Tungdil does not go down. Actually, let's do this.
I noticed that Tungdil had said pretty much what you were going to choose as number 3 as an addendum.
Yeah.
To the second one, so.
Too easy.
Yep. This is a hard fight, though.
Well, yeah, it's against humans.
Yep. Looks like the orcs are
He hardly put up a fight.
much rougher. Ish.
As good as done.
That guy's pitchforking you.
Yeah. We'll get him shortly.
Who's next?
Okay,
The one mercenary in the back isn't even attacking.
Well, he can't. He can't reach us. Which is kind of the benefit to all of this.
Yeah. Too easy.
There we go. We're making some progress. We're gonna have to kill these villagers, though.
At once. Pavrakas.
Okay.
That mercenary, yeah.
Actually,
On my way.
I'm just gonna move him out of the way. Let's see. Is he dead? He's
Yeah, I think
dead.
so.
On my way.
So I'm gonna move Bowendahl out of the way and let the two of them murder this random lady. Okay.
On my way.
There we go. That was a bit rough, but we're good because now we're out of combat because we took out all the archers, so I can heal up.
We have only 5 more mercenaries left.
Yeah, I don't know where they are, but
I think they might be down there. Yeah, there's one.
Yeah, it looks like they are. But I'm just gonna wait. They heal back up to full. And this way I don't have to worry about anything.
Wait, this is only the beta?
Sort of, yeah. So the game doesn't come out until Thursday. And so everything up until then, I think it's Thursday. It comes out in a day or two, I think.
Yeah, these are mercenaries.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring Bowendil out here. It looks like we...
These are all mercenaries by the looks of it.
Because I have less because I... wow.
Lightning strike.
Yeah, because I brought, I'm not in the center of the village.
Mm-hmm.
We have less townspeople to
Resistance.
deal with, yeah.
What is it? Yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Hit you very hard.
Let's get these guys.
Of
Okay.
course. What is it?
That's not very difficult.
These might be the 2 more that we need.
All right.
Yep,
As
he'll be
good
dead
as
in a
done.
second.
He hardly put up a fight.
There we go. Perfect. So we killed a couple of villagers, but mostly guards, mercenaries. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
As the last of the mercenaries falls to the ground, the villagers stop attacking you and retreat. You and Boendal have to physically restrain Boindil until he comes to his senses. Otherwise, he would have followed them into their houses. You walk up to the body of the mercenaries' leader and search his pockets. You soon find something.
A bounty for dwarves.
An anonymous client seeks dwarf skulls cleanly cut, shorn, and put into jars with honey. 1,000 gold coins will be paid for each skull. Khan, Bounty Hunters Guild Master.
That's bounty hunters hunting for dwarves. Despicable.
You hold the letter aloft so that everyone can see it.
Look, citizens of Clintel, proof that these men are the killers. They are bounty hunters hunting for dwarves.
The village elder comes out of one of the houses, flanked by other villagers. You ignore their weapons, as well as their sinister expressions, and hand over the letter.
It would seem you are telling the truth. We have been deceived and raised our weapons against the innocent.
The man's face is full of grief and pain.
And we have been made to pay. You have killed men who were close to us. Go now. We must bury them.
You manage to revenge Mort's death, but it doesn't feel like a victory. Too much blood has been spilt.
Yeah, I wonder if there was a way to do that without, but at the same time, there's not a whole lot that we could have done there. That was a
I wish
really
that you
hard
could have
fight.
pointed out that 2 of their horses didn't have the proper shoes.
Yeah.
Because that would have been a way to say, hey, these are the merchant's horses.
It would have been pretty damn good proof, given everything.
It would have. You didn't... and the thing is, then...
Well, we had no way of saying it, though.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
like,
just,
you can't blame me for not saying it when I had no option to
I know,
do
I'm
so.
just saying that it would have made sense because you were
know.
given the option to shoe the horses or not.
I know.
And by not shoeing the horses, you found out who they were, and...
Yep. Oh, well.